It's dinner time. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are having a pork tenderloin that has been cooked in a wine sauce. So, very few simple ingredients. I like to cook all traditional way, so I use lard, something that I make myself. You can use oil, of course. So we start by slicing some onions and then let them caramelize. Um, so we stir them for a few minutes until they start getting softer and nice golden color. Also chop some garlic, and this is going to be the base for our meat. And then I'm using pork tenderloin, which is really the softest and most tender piece of the pork, or actually any other if you use the beef veal, it's gonna be the softest meat. So slice it about like 2-3 inches horizontally, so this way you get a nice little pieces. And then I'm gonna align them in a pan on the top of our onions and let them cook like that a little bit until they change the color. So depend on the size of your family or so. I'm using 2 of them here. Also bought them like that. They're in a pack of 2, so I make more. We have more for leftovers, or also I often freeze, and then when I don't have time to cook, then I just take the container out of my freezer and I get home, I have the dinner ready. So I don't use much spices. I really use the salt and pepper as we did in old days when all the seasoning and the spices were a luxury. We didn't have much. It's just like old grandmas, they used to cook. And then that also bring the flavors of the actual food. You're not masking it with all the other flavors. Obviously, you can use any seasoning that you like. You add them. So we let them cook a little bit until they start changing the color. Turn them around and then let them cook for about half an hour. So you see they have released their water. I had not add any water. This is all the juice that came out of the meat. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna remove them from the pan, and then we'll reduce the liquid. Just also depend how much of the liquid you have. You can pour it aside, and then we'll add that to the dish later. This way I'm gonna be adding some wine to it. You can use any white wine. It doesn't have to be super expensive or anything special. You can use the cooking wine or anything else that you like to drink as well. It's your preference. So you want to this add so it can boil in the pan. This way the alcohol will evaporate and we just left with the flavor. So in a cup I'm stirring up a little bit of the cornstarch, and this is what I'm gonna add to this pan once the wine or alcohol has evaporated. This is gonna thicken the sauce. So if you don't have a cornstarch, or if you don't want to use it, you can also add some old or stale bread. That's what they actually used to use in the old days. And that will thicken your sauce. But bread is more like you have to put it right from the start because it's going to take time to dissolve. So now when this is starting to thicken up, like we'll add the meat back to the pan and let it cook in there for a little bit more, for another 5-10 minutes, until everything kind of comes together. If you want it spicy, you can always pour some, sprinkle it with the chili flakes. Like I said, seasoning, it's up to you and your taste buds and all. So there you go. We have a nice pork tenderloin in a wine sauce. Very simple, very easy to make. Enjoy.